Bonjour, welcome to French 1. I'm Madame Rumley. It is Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, week 25, March 23rd, and today is the pratique class before our Unit 6 test. Le programme pour aujourd'hui est prière, révision, les écritures, révision Unité 6 et devoir. Honestly, we probably won't get to review everything that will be on the test, everything from Unit 6, but we'll get through as much as we can, as you'll see, we'll go do the hard stuff first. All right, let's pray. Father, thank you so much for today. Just invite you into this class, be with each student, be with all of us, that we would have no tech problems connecting, hearing, whiteboarding, all the things, and that the French learned and practice here would really be internalized, and that each student here would learn French well and be blessed by it. We give this time up to you. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Tout le monde levez les mains. Tout le monde levez les mains. Everyone, raise your hands. We're going to start with les écritures. Elizabeth, why don't you start us out with translating John 14:15. If you love me, keep my commandments. Whenever you're ready. And I'll say what I always say in this class before a test when we are kind of reviewing stuff, but I think it's such valuable time of internalizing it and reviewing and making sure you have a space to ask questions and practice the things. Because we've all been there where we learn it in class and maybe even do the homework, but then when it comes time to apply it, it's maybe harder to remember. Also, okay, so I want you guys to all have your textbooks open and refer to them, but if you can, do as much as you can from memory. Then it could be kind of like a practice test almost. But definitely refer to it if you need to, no problem. Your notes in your textbook. All right, if you love me, keep my commandments. Si vous m'aimez, gardez mes commandements. Jean 14:15. Well done, Elizabeth. Emma, why don't you come on the mic and read it for us?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah. Really good, Emma. However, when we have the easy ending on verbs, like it makes an A sound. A. So, si vous m'aimez, gardez mes commandements. Can you say it one more time? Yes. Very good. Good. And that's true like all the time, every time. Well done, both of you. Next, you are the light of the world, Matthew 5:14. Emma, can you translate it for us? Write it out. And then Julia, you can come on the mic and read it. So on this test, we have 4 verses, 2 that are from the Lord's Prayer and 2 are not from the Lord's Prayer and 2 that are from the Lord's Prayer. And then the rest of the semester will be the Lord's Prayer. Kind of crazy. It's blowing my mind to think that after this test, we'll do Unit 7, and then we'll have the Unit 7 test, and then French class will be done. We'll be done. It's crazy how fast it's all gone. Oops. Okay. Vous êtes la lumière du monde. Perfect. Well done. Julia, will you come on audio and read it for us?
Alright, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of sick today,
Oh, hope you feel better soon.
Vous, yeah, thank you. Vous êtes la lumière du monde. Matthew 5, and then is it 14:14?
Yes, it is. Well done. Très bien, Julia. Très bien, Emma. Well done, both of you ladies. Next, so we have, actually, I'll review it afterwards. Now we're doing the Lord's Prayer. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Dara, go ahead and write it out. And I would like everyone to have their hands raised. We're just going to be doing exercises upon exercises, written and speaking, and this is what class is for you guys to practice. So everyone participate. So Dara, you're going to translate this, write it out, and then Charlotte, you can come on and read it after. Oh, excuse me. No worries, Dara. You are welcome to refer to your notes if you need to. And the other thing I always say, everyone, whether or not you've been called on to write on the board, try answering the questions too, whether or not you've been assigned an exercise. Pretend like you are writing on the board as well. Okay, Sarah. Good job. Notre Père qui es aux cieux, que ton nom soit sanctifié. Well done, Dara. Well done. Charlotte, you can come on audio and read it.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. Really well done, and good job with the liaison there. Really good job. And then the second verse from the Lord's Prayer, your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So Emma, you can go ahead and write it, and Julia, you can read it. Yeah, that's okay, Julia. That's fine. Looking good. Just curious while we're waiting, have you guys been studying your verses? I know that things have changed since the second semester, and a lot of the studying and all the things is much more in your hands, so you can or cannot do it. But are some of you guys studying those verses? Que ton règne vienne, que ta volonté soit faite sur la terre comme au ciel. Really good job, Emma. Très bien, Julia. You can come on audio and read it. Good job. That sounded great. Well done. Okay, so we have these four verses: John 14:15, Matthew 5:14, Matthew 6:9, Matthew 6:10. And so it's like starting with Matthew 6:9, this is the Lord's Prayer. And we'll just continue on with it for the rest of the semester. Crazy. Any questions about the verses, you guys? I encourage you, I'm sure I've said this a bunch of times throughout the year, but I encourage you because, the nature of homeschooling and this and Landry or whatever we are now, No, we didn't. There's two ways you can study verses. There's one where you can just memorize what the words are and then rewrite them, which is useful. But then there's another way where you really try to internalize and know what each of the words that you're writing means. And I encourage you to do that second method where you think about what each word is and what they mean and what you're actually saying. And that's kind of the beauty of the verses, is you're being exposed to French, like literature, little line by line, kind of beyond your abilities, but it's beyond what we've learned in this class. So you're being exposed to it, and then if you are spending the time learning it and understanding it, the more you'll grasp French. Anyways, so that's that. Révision, Unité 6. The way I'm going to do this is actually, I'm going to go backwards. Rather than starting at the beginning of Unit 6 and going towards the end, we're going to start at the end and work our way towards the beginning. And this is because, as you know, the units begin with vocab and then progress to harder grammar things. And I want to spend more time on the harder grammar things. And the vocab, if we don't make it to the end, that's fine. That's just flashcards kind of stuff for you. Okay? Any questions on that? So keep your hands raised. As soon as you answer a question, you can just lower it and re-raise it, and let's just keep that flow going. Okay? So the first thing we're going to learn, or the first thing we're going to cover, is actually, I'm going to teach you something new. I did not put it in last week's class because it felt like there's too much going on. So I'm going to teach it to you right now, and then the rest is technically review. Okay, so we're going to learn today the imperative. Imperatif. Imperative in English. Does anyone remember from English class what the imperative form is? So all verbs can, let me do it this way. For you visual people, I'll write it out. All verbs can be conjugated. Conjugation means changing the form of the verb to show time, as in past, present, future, and condition. So what does that mean? And we have this in English, and like I've said before, learning grammar in another language is weird because it's making us think about things that we know without thinking in our own language. So condition is actually, that's getting too complicated. Okay, so the verb, we can always conjugate a verb. We can show make it show time, whether the action is taking place in the past, the present, or the future, or some kind of condition. For example, the imperative is kind of a condition. Does anyone remember what the imperative form is? Same word in English. I always think of it as like someone being imperial, or it's imperative that you do this kind of thing. No one? All right. The imperative is to give a command or an order. Good job, Elizabeth. Yes. To give a command or an order. We use this form all the time, which is, again, the weird thing about grammar is like we do it without thinking about it. The subjects. I had my thoughts so organized. Now they're getting all jumbled. In the imperative form, we actually drop the subject. Okay, in the imperative form, we drop the subject. Let me show you an example. I could say something like, you get out of the kitchen. It's weird in English and French to keep the you there. We kind of know, if you hear the phrase get out of the kitchen, based on the context, that it's directed at you. So we don't include the you, we naturally drop you. In English we do that, and in French. So you get out of the kitchen, or you raise your hands, or you hand me that book. Okay, so there doesn't have to be necessarily someone giving an actual, I mean, these are all technically commands, but it doesn't have to be someone bossy. You could just ask your sister next to you, hand me that book. That's technically giving a command, grammatically speaking. Okay, yeah, you guys are recalling this? Okay, so we drop the subject in the imperative. That's kind of the important thing about the imperative. The only subjects we have, the only subjects for the imperative are you singular, you plural, and us/we. It kind of becomes second nature. Yeah. Exactly. So, and this makes sense. We only would tell someone, um, someone else, hey, you pick up your room, or you guys get out of here, or for us or we will say let's. In English, we say let's go, let's get out of here, let's go to the beach, that kind of thing. Oh, nice, Elizabeth. All right. So imperative is a verb form that gives a command or an order. The special thing about the imperative is that we drop the subject. We the subject disappears. It's invisible. But it's implied. And then the third thing is that the only subjects for the imperative are you, and us. Any questions about that? Kind of makes sense, right? You've learned this before. Maybe it's coming back to you from grammar days in English. All right. So in French, the thing about the imperative in terms of conjugation, as in verb endings, is that you're really lucky. The imperative form is the exact same endings as in the present tense, except for all ER verbs, including the irregular verb aller, the S of the THU form is dropped. Okay, so here's a statement, just a regular statement, not an imperative one. Tu parles anglais. You speak English. This is an ER verb. Parler is an ER verb. And when you put it into the imperative, we drop the subject, and then it becomes parler anglais. Because parler is an ER verb, we actually lose the S there. Same here. Tu vas au café. And somehow it changed to library, strangely enough. Okay. Tu vas au café. We drop the subject, and it becomes va à la café, au café. Va au café. Because va is the verb aller, ER verb, we actually drop the S. But that's just for the ER verbs. The rest of them are all conjugated the exact same as the present tense. So we have our subjects are tu, vous, and nous. Those are the only subjects for imperatif. And then here's parler, finir, vendre, aller. So we have a regular ER verb, a regular IR verb, a regular RE verb, and then an irregular common ER verb, aller. We really often use aller for imperative. So anyway, so our forms are parle, parlez, parlons, fini, finissez, finissons, vend, vendez, vendons, va, allez, allons. Okay? Any questions about imperatif? Pretty simple. You just drop the subject and change the verb form to the proper form. Can you guys recall any imperative phrases that we've used so far in class already, or you've heard? We've learned and used a handful already. Let's do it this way. What's an example imperative sentence for you singular. Yes, good job, guys. On y va. That's technically on y a. On y va. Or also vas-y. Vas-y. We've heard that. Yeah. Go ahead and let's go. How about you plural? There's one that I say every single class. Yes, vas-y is totally one, vas-y. But that's more like THU singular. Yes, Elizabeth, I say that every class. Levez les mains. How about one for nous? Someone already said one. Allons-y. Can you guys see these lettering over here? It's kind of small font. Allons-y. Oh dear, what's happening? All right, got it? Any questions about imperatif before we do some exercises? Yes, Julia. Yes, lever les mains is literally raise hands instead of raise your hands then. Yes, yes, yes. It is technically the imperative where vous levez les mains, the vous is in the parentheses. Vous is the subject that's implied and invisible. All right, let's do some exercises. We're on page 293. I'll assign it and then give directions. Emma, numéro 1. Faith, numéro 2. Ethan, numéro 3. Sarah, numéro 4. Dara, numéro 5. Page 293. Here we go. L'esprit de contradiction. Make suggestions to your friends about things to do. Your friends will not agree and will suggest something else. So this is very practical conversation for you guys because this is the kind of thing that conversation I've definitely had with my friends. Basically, let's go here. No, let's go here. So the first person says, allons au cinéma, I think. Allons au cinéma. Let's go to the movie. Let's go to the movies. And the other person says, non, n'allons pas au cinéma. Allons à la plage. Okay, so each of you go ahead whenever you're ready. Each of you are going to be writing 3 sentences essentially, where you're putting into practice l'impératif. First you say, let's go to somewhere, and then no, let's not go to that first place. And then the third sentence is let's go someplace new. So you do have to have your textbooks open looking at what, actually, never mind. You can just look at what's here, the sentences. How do I do mine? Number 5. Okay, so the verb is inviter, And we're conjugating all of these for the form of we. So you would be saying like, we invite Michelle. So it'd be the we drop the nu, but then the verb has an ons ending. Invitons, and then Michel, question mark. Invitons Michel, like let's invite Michelle. And then the answer would be, no, let's not invite Michelle. Let's invite Sophie. Looking good. All of these verbs should be conjugated for the nu form. Nu, like, because for all of these we're saying let's, as in let us go. Let us go to this or go do that. So number 3, regarde la télé. Non, ne regarde pas la télé, regarde un film, une vidéo. You're very close, except all your verbs are in the form for tu, as if you're telling someone you go watch TV. No, you don't watch TV, you watch a movie or whatever it is. But it should be let us, conjugated for nu. And then you also forgot your other half, your negative sandwich. Number 1, jouons au tennis. We actually don't need the E here. Jouons au tennis. Non, ne jouons pas au tennis, jouons au jeu vidéo. Good, good. So we drop the E here. And then this still is in the new form. Numéro 5. Invitons Michel. Non, n'invitons pas Michel. Invitons Sophie. Perfect. Well done, Dara. Numéro 3. Still waiting on the changes. Number 1, don't forget, this has to be for nu as well. Numéro 4. Dînons au restaurant. Good. Non, ne dînons pas au restaurant. Dînons à la maison. Perfect. You got it. So number 3. All of your verbs need to have ons on the end. Do you know why? Good fixes. Do you know why though? Regardons la télé. No. Yes. Where these sentences are saying we or let us watch TV, but we remove the us because it's imperative. We feel like it's redundant. So we just say like let us watch TV, but we just remove the us part. So it's just, no, let's not watch the TV. Yeah. Good. Okay, except you don't need to do the an apostrophe here, because regardons begins with a consonant. All right, numéro 2. Écoutons la radio. Non, n'écoutons pas la radio. Écoutons so MP3. You could probably just say listen. Yeah, that's good. Never mind. Good. Good job, guys. Any questions on this? I'm going to move on, so make sure you understand it. Okay. So that's the imperatif. Let's review it really quick. L'impératif is the verb form where we, actually, let me do it this way, where we're giving a command. We're giving a command or telling someone what something to do, a command or an order. We drop the subject. There's never a subject, and because we feel like it's implied in the context. The only subjects that are there for the imperative are you, singular, tu, you, plural, vous, and then nous, us. So those are the only possible subjects, and they're always invisible. The way the verb is conjugated is the exact same as present tense, and except for the er verbs for the to form. We drop the s. Besides that, everything looks the same as the present tense, which is pretty easy. All right, let's move on. Let's just chug through this. Emma, can you please write for us all the endings for regular re verbs? Charlotte, can you conjugate ventre the first three, and Julia, conjugate ventre the second three? Vas-y. So for mine, it says jouons tennis. Would that be let's play tennis? Yes. It's a little more awkward in English because we say like you, singular, play tennis. You, plural, play tennis still, right? But then if it's in English, we say if it's us, or in English we kind of actually keep the us in there. Let's play tennis. We technically, the us is still kind of present because let's stands for let us. So that's kind of awkward. In French, we lose the subjects for each one. Joue au tennis. Jouer au tennis. And then jouons au tennis. Does that help? Awesome. Okay. You're welcome. So we've learned the three verb endings, er, re, and ir. We've learned those three, and you should know the proper endings for each of them by heart by now. So we have what we do for each of them. For regular, er, regular, ir, regular, re verbs, we remove the endings, the re, the ir, the er. We remove those endings, and then we add the proper ones, which are these lists right here. Excellent job. S, nothing. ONS, easy, int. Perfect. Yeah, you could leave it blank, or you could do something like this, or even write the word nothing. That way I know you know that there's nothing there. You didn't just forget what that one was. Vent, and then this would actually be, Charlotte, you want to fix this one really quick? Now that we have our chart here. Vendons, vendez, vende. Excellent. Anyone in the chat, how would we say il, elle, the conjugation of vendre for il, elle? Yes. Correct. Remove the er and add nothing. Perfect. Well done. All right, flash vocab. Everyone in the chat, what's the R? These are all our RE verbs. What's the verb that meaning to wait? You're welcome to use your notes in your textbook if you need to. We're just kind of chugging our way through from bottom to top or back to front of the unit. Yes, To wait. Attendre, like to attend to someone. Like if you're attending to someone, you're waiting on someone. That makes sense to me, at least. How about to hear? What's the verb that means to hear? Good. Entendre. I have no clever way of helping you remember that. How about to lose or to waste? Good. Perdre. Oh, I love my little side notes. Okay, obviously I give them all the time. In France, their food is amazing. Their bread in particular, and part of what makes their baguettes and bread so amazing is that they're made fresh literally every day. And the nature of the way they're made is that they actually don't last the next day at all. You literally buy fresh bread every day, or you could get it frozen, but that's a different story. The real good bread is you buy it fresh every day. Which sounds like a hassle, but everything's close. You could just walk down the street and get. Anyways, so the French, of course, have come up with ways of using any bread that wasn't used from the day before, and that's how we get things like French toast. And I'm sure they made bread pudding and a whole bunch of other food items with old bread. And the French word for French toast is pain perdu, or lost bread. It's lost from the day before, so we'll recycle it. Do you not have bread on Sundays? Oh, because everything's closed, Jaina? Um, that's a great question. No, I think the bakeries are probably open in the mornings. Ooh, good remembering. Bakery, I didn't even say that, but bakeries are probably the one exception because everyone has to have their bread. Good connection. Oh, cool. That's cool, Elizabeth. All right. So, anyways, now hopefully you won't remember that perdre means lose or waste. So it's pain perdu is French toast. Anyways, how do we say to visit? Haha, tricked ya. A person. To visit a person. This is again one of those things. I kind of like this about the French. They make a differentiation between visiting a person and visiting a place. So, yes, we rendre visite. When we are autocorrect. Okay. A person. When we visit a place, it's visiter. Kind of like, remember we learned the verb amener, which means to bring a person. But apporter is if we bring a thing. Like if we're coming to a party and we bring a friend, we amener the friend, but then we apporter chips or whatever we bring to the party. Same thing with visit. To visit a person, we rendre visite à. We render or we give a visit to a person. But visiter is a place. Okay. Anyways, next, to answer. Répondre. Ah, très bien. And then to sell. This is a verb we've used a lot in this unit, so I think you all know it. Yes, vendre. Which is, I think, a pretty common, or in English, we have the same root, like a vendor, like someone at like an open market or something. Those are all vendors. Or like when you work in businesses and you sell a bunch of things from different factories or different craftsmen, those factories and craftsmen are called vendors. They're selling things to you to sell. There's also like vending machine is selling things, stuff like that. Anyways, so hopefully those will be easy tricks for you to remember. Next, we learned about on. Okay, when in our handy dandy pronoun chart, let me make the font a little bigger. We have je, tu, il, elle, and then on is technically there. Nous, vous, il, elle. And as I told you last class, some French teachers or some English speakers will look at this and say, oh, this means he, she, and it. But that's actually a bit inaccurate. Il is he, and it in the masculine form. Masculine, it. It for a masculine object. Elle means she, and the feminine form of it. And then on means one, as in one does not simply walk into mortar. And I think I told you before too, like if you speak with French people, if you're speaking English with a French person, I've heard it so many times where they'll accidentally say her or she for an object, or he or him for an object, because in their mind they're thinking this pen is it's masculine. In French we would say it's the same word in French, right? So il can be referred to like a man person, or il could be it, the pen, it. And so sometimes in English they'll say like here is him or something like that on accident. Anyways, that's why, because they have the same word. But anyway, so on is used in general statements to mean one, they, or them. Oftentimes in English, we use the word we. So let's do an exercise. MJ, numéro 1. Yana, numéro 2. Elizabeth, numéro 3. Aïtha, numéro 4. And Sarah, numéro 5. This is exercise on page 288. Where we are saying, imagine that you've won a grand prize tour of the world. Say which the following languages is spoken in each of the cities that you'll be visiting. So you have to look at the word bank here of languages: anglais, japonais, espagnol, italien, français, chinois. So for my example, I'll do it at the top. You guys can go whenever you're ready. Acapulco, which is in South America. So I would say, on parle espagnol. Oh, I did it backwards, that's why. Okay. Excuse me. Oops, autocorrect. Acapulco, on parle espagnol. Okay, so in the place, the city, Quebec or Boston or Madrid or Brussels or, what's that word in English? Geneva. Then we say one speaks, like they speak something there. They as in the general they or them, or one who lives there speaks that language. So Quebec is in Canada, Boston's in America, Madrid's in Spain, Brussels is in Belgium, where they speak French, and Geneva is in Switzerland. I think the French-speaking part of Switzerland. Actually, I know it is because I have a friend who's from there. All right, let's do the globe because we're talking about traveling. I met some people from France and Iceland, and they did that with objects. It was funny. Yeah. That's awesome. I love meeting with people. I love talking with people from other places in the world because it makes you think about the way they think about the world, which is always different and makes you think about things you never thought about before. Why would you write apoko instead of en apoko? I know I should remember this. Actually, Julia, this is not an easy one. Sometimes we say en and sometimes we say a. Okay, I know. Thank you. Break. Okay, thank you. Okay. And you kind of have to just kind of remember when to use which. In general, you can say that we use a for cities. There's no easy way of remembering it. Sorry. Okay. So à Québec, on parle anglais et français. That is actually true. You speak both. They probably speak French more, but they technically speak both. À Boston, on parle anglais. À Madrid, on parle espagnol. Okay, except your conjugation here. Remember, technically, on is conjugated the same way that il and elle is. It's in this box here with them. So your conjugation is actually the wrong one for this. Au Bruxelles, on parle français. Good, you misspelled parle, but I think you just accidentally typed a little E in there. Genève, on parle français. Same with you. Wrong conjugation. It literally, like, think of the box that we make with the conjugations. Whoa. Nice straight line, Madam Rumley. Okay. How's that? Let me take it away. I'll just hide it up here. Okay. Je, tu. Okay. Il, elle, and then on is actually in the exact same box. Thank you. Kind sir or ma'am. Okay. Vous, il, elle. Okay, so it's technically in the same box, conjugated the exact same as il, elle, and on. Both of you conjugated as if it was two, but it's not. All right, here we go. On parle espagnol, on parle français. Très bien. Good, let's move on. Next, we learned about expressions with combien. So, combien plus the verb, that's saying how much, as in money or cost. Combien de is also saying how much / how many, as in quantity. Combien, and then the verb is cost. Combien de, and then usually a noun. We're talking about quantity. So I have these sentences here I made up for you, and you have to pay close attention. Is the question asking for combien plus the verb? Goodness gracious. Verb, or combien plus de? We'll do the break right after this, okay? Plus the noun. You tell me. Well, actually, okay, I guess we could do the break now. Sorry, we're a little late. Okay, we'll do the 5-minute break and we'll come back and do this exercise. See you in 5.